Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsocket.radio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Coffee Ann, it's Tuesday morning, November 7th. Thanks for joining us. A little bit of rain this morning, but that's going to clear out, and that'll be nice.
It's already cleared up, Joe. But the skies will clear later.
All right. That was Dave Richards speaking right over there. Good morning to you, Dave.
Speaking out of turn, I'm sorry, I wasn't introduced.
As always, there's Dave.
Yeah.
And there's Linda Tebow. Good morning to you, Linda.
Good morning.
Oh, Linda Tebow.
Ed Carew cannot be with us this week. We expect Ed to be joining us next week, which will be
He's
just
on
terrific.
assignment.
Yes, he is. But our first segment, the sponsor of Coffee Ann is the Carew Investment Group.
A message from the Carew Investment Group, 68 Cumberland Street, at the corner of Clinton and Cumberland Streets here in Woonsocket. The Carew Investment Group offers you personal management of investment accounts. Depending on what you're looking for, whether it be to enhance your current income, a 401k rollover, or retirement income, we'll put together a plan for you. We focus on using quality dividend-paying stocks of companies that you know, investment quality bonds, exchange-traded funds, and use the advantages offered by IRAs. You can contact Paul or Ed at the Carew Investment Group anytime for a free no-obligation portfolio review at 765-8880. Our office is at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket, and that telephone number again is 765-8880. You can also email Ed at ed@carewinvestmentgroup.com or visit the website at www.carewinvestmentgroup.com. Securities offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thank you very much. It's a Coffee Ann on ON Radio, and we want to start off by congratulating our Autumn Fest Prize a Day calendar winner for today, November 7th. That would be Cody Hiru from
That's
Forestdale.
Liru.
Oh, the H is silent?
No,
French.
you know, you're saying it, but you're not saying it like a ha. Yeah, because that's English.
Yeah.
French is Leroux.
Leroux. Right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Cody, congratulations.
It was
Cody wins.
anglicized in some corners of this nation as LaRue.
I like LaRue.
Yeah, but that's not how they say it.
Cody wins the Executive Auto Wash car washes, a $25 gift card to Squeaky Cleaners, RI LLC, $25 gift card to River Falls Restaurant, and a 1-month membership to the Gym LLC, a $50 value.
Wowie zowie.
Congratulations
That's a nice
to
win.
him. All right.
And the winners just keep on
Keep
coming.
on coming. We'll have another one tomorrow. So, Linda, I brought this up yesterday because we like to talk Patriots.
I
with
asked her if
Linda.
she voted already, and she says,
we'll get
no,
to
that's
vote.
yet to come.
We'll get to voting in a minute. New theory with the Patriots.
Oh, okay.
Oh, dear.
Let's see if you agree with this.
All right,
My
go
theory
ahead,
yesterday.
go ahead.
They're done.
No, that's not what I
Stick
mean.
a fork in
Well,
them.
that part's true. But anyway, watching the game on Sunday,
Yep.
they were winning
Uh-huh.
17-10.
Yes, they were.
When I noticed a switch in them somehow, and they became cocky. And they thought, it looked like they thought, we've won the game. And they started making mistakes, which is what I noticed. And then that Washington comes back, and they can't compensate. Did you notice a switch in the Patriots that they thought, oh, now that we're up 17-10, we've won this game?
Well, they looked really proud.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, and
That's
yeah.
fine, but the game's not over.
But it gave us right because they have to play for the whole game.
That's right. That's how this
yeah,
works.
That's how it works. The whole game up until the very end.
Yes.
No, when I said, "Whoa," when they were looking, I guess
Which is
I
good.
guess you could say cocky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to keep playing the
and
game
the Mac
correctly.
was looking like.
I'm
Look at
I'm the
me,
top
come on.
dog
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I know what
I
I'm
can
doing.
do this.
That's
I can
right.
do this.
And then
And
look
then,
what happened.
ooh, I know.
All right,
I
be
know.
cocky after the game and after you've won.
Right. And
Then you can say how great you are.
Then you could do that.
Or how great a game
Right.
I had.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah.
so
Do you
this.
think that's why they lost?
Yes.
Okay.
They got cocky.
Started making mistakes.
Started making more mistakes, and
Okay.
Washington just ran over them at the end.
Yeah, they did.
So and lost 2017.
Yeah,
So.
they did.
Now this Sunday they go to Germany
I know.
and
so
play
they
the Colts. Now
lose on
they
another-
well, but they again on paper, it's possible they should beat the Colts. The
Well,
Colts are not
shouldn't they
very
have-
good either.
They should have beat
The Commanders.
Commanders.
Yes,
yeah,
they,
I want to
yes,
say
they
Reds,
should.
Reds,
I know you
but
do.
Commanders, yeah,
Yes, they should have. On paper, they should have beat them.
but they didn't.
That's right.
So-
but on paper, the Buffalo Bills should have beat the Patriots, and we beat them.
I know.
So that's why you
all
play the
right.
game.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
we'll see.
we will see.
Maybe.
Now, I have an observation on all that as well. You probably have noticed, Linda, over the years that there's a youthful exuberance in professional athletes that's exhibited on the field of play that you didn't see when we were growing up. You know, okay, they did a good job, yay, okay, fine, you know, pat them on the back, you know, nice
Dances,
job,
yeah.
you know,
It's a
like that.
celebration after every play.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
I mean,
Football,
the
though.
Patriots were losing in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter. Somebody did something right, and the cameras caught him going, "Hey, I'm the best in
I'm
the
the
world.
best."
Look at this, man!" No, you're losing,
They all
idiot.
pound their chest like
Yeah,
they're,
yeah,
like they're the
yeah,
greatest. I go,
yeah.
you're losing the game.
Yeah, you're
So shut up.
losing.
It's
And so I think that this goes back to T-ball, everybody wins. They're teaching these young people the wrong things when they're growing up. Yes, you should have a positive self-image. Yes, you should rejoice in
Yeah.
your accomplishments, but the war is not won yet, so don't celebrate victory.
Yeah, you're right.
There's got to be some evil, somewhere in the middle of all this.
I know on the high school level and the college level, when you score a touchdown, you're not allowed to spike the ball. If you do,
Right.
it
It's
is a
called
penalty.
taunting, yeah.
And and they're very good at quickly flipping the ball off to the referee.
Yeah.
But then 4 or 5 of them will run off into
Yeah.
the end zone.
Yeah, and do a
their,
dance.
and do their dance.
They
Yeah.
dance, yeah,
Whatever
no,
their dance
yeah,
is,
and they have
and everyone's
fan-
different.
very fancy dances.
Yeah, it's
too.
all very
yes, yes, they could
choreographed.
dance with us. Some of them.
None of them are wearing tap shoes, though.
No, I know.
But
Well,
that
we
starts-
do some jazz numbers without tap shoes, so it's okay.
But that starts at least in college, maybe high school. It depends on where
Yeah.
you're playing high school ball, and
Yeah.
when you get up to the pros,
I
you
bet
wanna-
it
you wanna
happens in
keep
Pop
doing
Warner,
that.
too.
yeah.
Maybe it does. Maybe it's filtered down that far.
You know, and
We'll
when they're
see.
young, that's cute.
It
but
is
when
cute.
you're a pro, it seems to me, like, we go out and do broadcasts and stuff like that, and I try to save, when something goes right on the air and something we worked really hard for goes right on the air, I'm a pretty lousy winner. I don't consider myself a really good winner. I'm just like, yes, that sort of thing. And I express myself, and I give myself a little pat on the back when the team wins and all the rest of that as a means of encouraging me into the next battle. But usually not until it's really over.
There's the old adage is, especially when you're a rookie and like that, and something great happens, they always say, act like you've been here before. Mm-hmm. So stop doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. And I do remember this was a Magic Johnson was in his first professional game with the Lakers, and I guess they won. And he got the final shot and got the last basket, and they won by like 2 points.
Yeah.
And he was jumping up and down, going crazy, and all exuberant. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came up to him in the locker room. Hey, we've got 68 more of these. You're way too excited for game number 1.
Yeah, right, yeah.
And so that stuck with Magic. Oh,
Yeah.
I really got to calm down. We
Yeah.
haven't won anything yet.
No,
kind of thing.
the game's not over till it's over. Somebody
Well,
said
they had
that.
won
Remember
game 1. They had won game 1, but he was just way too
Yeah,
excited that they had
yeah.
won game 1.
Yeah, right,
So,
yeah.
I also heard that in the acting profession.
Yeah?
I'm trying to remember who it was. It wasn't John Wayne, but it's someone of his stature told a
youngin?
rookie actor
Yeah.
on set that they were like pouring it all on, really pushing hard and giving their best on the wide shots,
Yeah.
on the close-ups, everything, and just like over-the-top acting. And the veteran actor looked at them and said, "No, save it for the close-ups.
Ah.
You can't keep that level of excitement up without needing drugs, and you don't want to go there. So, okay, on the wide shots, keep it small. On the close-ups, keep it smaller.
Ah, okay.
Pat yourself on the back in your dressing room."
There you go. Laurence Olivier and Dustin Hoffman worked in the movie The Marathon Man. And Dustin Hoffman and Sir Lawrence came from different methods of acting.
Very different.
And Dustin went, well, what's my motivation? Da, 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 da. And Laurence Olivier finally said, why don't you just act? That's great.
Never mind what system, right?
Yes, that's right.
That's
All
right.
right, we got a note we want to get to, and this goes back to yesterday's what we talked about with RIPTA
Yeah.
yesterday, Dave. So you may have a comment on this. This is going on far enough. The state must take the initiative, address this, and issue a mandate to RIPTA. Maybe have 4 different center pickup locations in the state. They have Providence, Newport, Cranston, Woonsocket, and cover all the main routes in such cities. If RIPTA doesn't coordinate and comply, give them what they want, money. If not, then be rid of them. No or yes. And do you know, we haven't had buses on Park Avenue for years. And this is a branch in and out of the city. What do you think of the 4 main, make it 4 hubs in the state? Providence, Newport, Cranston, Woonsocket.
Well, the
start
idea
there.
of a hub is centralization.
But
The
4
idea of
centers-
4 hubs is 4 centers, and you can't have 4 centers. It's going to get wobbly. It defies logic what their plan is. It may be a good idea, but it's not logical, and it's not a sure win. You're right about the disappointment that we all expressed when we lost the bus on Park Avenue. We really didn't lose the bus on Park Avenue. We lost a bus. We had the number 54, which went between Providence and Woonsocket, the number 54 bus. Then we had a 54 Express that didn't make all the stops. The 54 Express came down Park Avenue. The 54 never did. It went up Providence Street and then came along Great Road to Park Square.
What is the Express going?
The Express is no longer running.
Okay.
The 54 bus remains, and it runs about every 20 minutes now. It used to be every half hour, which is a little harder to gauge, but once you get used to it, you're all right. RIPTA's facing an impossible task. They did when they were formed. They continue to face an impossible task. Everybody wants the bus when they want it, and then they don't patronize it for 12 months or something like that and expect them to still be there. It's kind of like, everybody wants their little fish bait and tackle store in the neighborhood, and then they buy online or go to a big chain or box store or something like that all the time, and they expect them to be there on the opening day of fishing season when they need to get something. It's unreasonable. It's not of nature. It's insanity to expect it, but people just kind of lull themselves into, they're always there. They've always been there, always going to be. Same thing with the buses. If you weren't using the 54 Express enough and they have to cut down on routes, if they don't have enough drivers, whatever, equipment, then it's going to go down to just the 54.
Linda, what do you think about having different hub locations throughout the state? You may even put in a 5th one, like in Charlestown, to handle South County.
Well, we used to have buses all the time up in North Smithfield. We don't anymore.
ABC bus line.
We don't.
But Pasco had buses all the time. ABC
Same-
bus line.
Same thing. Remember? Yeah, those.
Yeah.
Yeah, the buses.
And it went where people wanted to go.
And it did, and it was, there was we, in North Smithfield, we didn't have a high school, so we went elsewhere. Like I was at St. Clair, and we took a bus.
Either
And,
Burrillville or
there was-
Woonsocket, usually.
that bus was there. We'd walk down to the town hall and pick up the bus there, and they took us to, so buses were scheduled like every hour or something like that, if I remember right, because then we had to catch a bus to come back home.
Sure.
And it was nice. It was nice,
But it was a
we
different
don't-
world.
But
It was a different country.
I know everything was a different world then, but we only have those, those small buses now.
Yeah.
But I like the idea of being able, if you want to go from Woonsocket to, let's say, Lincoln Mall,
Yeah.
go to Lincoln Mall. Don't go to Providence. Get another bus to come back to Lincoln. And then reverse it when you want to come home.
Yeah.
Can't do that now.
No, you got to go to Providence to Kennedy Plaza.
You've got to go to Providence to come back to Lincoln.
Yes.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
That works. That's how it
That's
works
not
around
logic.
the entire state.
To come back. Well, that's not true. 54 stops at Lincoln Mall, both going down
Does
and
it?
coming back.
All right. Well, maybe that's a bad example.
I mean, when we first moved here to Park Avenue, I was delighted. We were on a bus route, and there was right outside the radio station, there was a RIPTA bus stop sign outside the radio station. This was great. First time I had jury duty, I mean, I just walked outside, stood there at the proper time, and I was picked up and brought right back. Well, they brought me back across the street, but that's close enough. But now you have to go down to Park Square to get it, actually on the other side of Park Square. So, that's a little inconvenience, but there's still a bus there, and it ain't like walking to Providence or having a park in Providence either. So I still appreciate it, and it's still only $2. That's not bad. Can't buy a gallon of gas for $2.
Nope. But if you want, instead of the Lincoln Mall, I guess if you wanted to go to like Cumberland from Woonsocket, you go into Providence first.
Oh yeah.
And
Well,
switch
now
the
if you're
buses.
going east and west, if your
Yeah.
destination is east and west, the bus isn't going to do it for you. But north and south, you can do it.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program, but more coming your way. And this portion of Coffee and has been sponsored by the Carew Investment Group.
Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group at 68 Cumberland Street in Woonsocket. Our telephone number is 765-8880. If you're looking for an investment firm that puts you first and works hard on your behalf, I'd like you to consider us. We're right here in Woonsocket, and we've been in business since 1987. So you don't have to go out of town for an experienced advisor, or work with an advisor based in Boston, New York, or who knows where. Someone you'll probably never meet. We encourage our clients to come to our office and sit down with us as often as they like. Why? Because we like to do business the old-fashioned way. We want to get to know you on a more personal basis so that we're more attuned to your financial needs. So if you're interested in speaking with us for a free, no-obligation consultation to find out how we invest your money, call us, Paul or myself, at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
You know, when you're paying the right price for protection, you just know it. It's that warm, fuzzy, totally secure feeling, knowing that you're not only getting great coverage, but you're also not paying too much for it. And when it comes to your insurance, there's no one better at getting the right price for your protection than Allstate agents Kara and Celeste Benjamin, because they know when it comes to your bank account, every penny counts towards something bigger, something better. Like a nicer car, that home update you've been dreaming of, or a phone that's fresh out of the box. Those little or big things that we work so hard for. And Kara and Celeste Benjamin want to help you work a little less by getting you the coverage you need and the savings you deserve when you switch to Allstate. Contact Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. One agency, 2 locations in North Smithfield and Bellingham. 765-5000 for a free quote today. Allstate, you're in good hands. And you're in good hands with Kara and Celeste Benjamin at the Benjamin Agency. Savings vary based on the average annual savings reported by new auto customers surveyed in 2019 who switched to Allstate.
The Coffee and panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee in Pawtucket. They're a 62-year-old family business that roasts all its coffee right here in Rhode Island. Founded originally as Excellent Coffee Company, they provide great coffee to food service establishments throughout New England.
We're local and live at 99.5 FM.
Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here, along with Dave Richards, doing his Ed Carew impersonation, and Linda
Hi.
Tigo is here as well. And today is Election Day.
Yes,
and,
it is.
Very important in North Smithfield
Yes,
for you.
it
and,
is. Yes, it is. We have the police station.
You want to tell us where you
Yeah, I'm.
where you
I'm,
fit
I'm,
on, where you fall
I'm going to
on
vote
this?
for it.
You are.
I am
okay.
going to vote for it. We need a police station.
We have one. You just need a better one.
Well, we. You know, I remember when the police station in North Smithfield was in the village of Slatersville, and it was downstairs. They had two
Underneath
cells.
Town
Remember
Hall.
underneath
Oh, I
Town
remember that
Hall?
very well.
And I remember one of the things we
It was
always.
basically a closet near the boiler.
Yes, it was with 2 cells.
Yeah.
It had 2 cells, and the chief and
like
the
the Andy
assistant
Griffith Show.
was. I'm telling you, that's what it was like.
Smaller than what they had for a set in the Andy
Oh,
Griffith
yeah,
show.
it was small.
Smaller.
It was small, and I can remember one of the things we used to do. Like I was a den mother for Cub Scouts,
Yeah.
and we used to always bring the Cub Scouts
That's
there
all.
to
And show 'em the
so
cells.
that they could talk with the chief and the assistant chief. That's all we
Alright.
had.
Yeah.
And and to show them the cells, and and they said, now see, you don't want to be,
That's
that
right.
kind of a thing. It was like an excursion for them.
Yeah.
But that, and so that's what. Then we moved it to Bushy
Yeah.
School, which was revamped into a police station. But we never really had.
But that's 5 times the size, but just the same basic architecture.
It was exactly about. I would say so. Yes. Yeah. That vintage. Yes.
Yeah.
It was. Although I love the old town hall, the Memorial Town building is beautiful. They're making it look nice now. But
Yeah.
so we never really had a real police station.
That's right.
We
It's always
had.
been a revamp
That
of
was
something
designed to
else.
be a police
To build
station
into
and not
that-
just retrofitted into something
Right.
that was there.
And so yeah, we need a police station.
Yeah,
We do
I
need a
agree.
police station, and they showed me the numbers, and everybody. North Smithfield is not a poor town. It isn't. We're not rich, but we're not poor either, and we should have a police station. So Dave and I are definitely in favor of that. I had a sign in front of my house, and
Oh, okay.
and there are those that said, you have the naysayers always that say don't do
Well,
it.
that's part of
It's
the
going
game.
to cost too much money, and of
Money,
course,
yeah,
and what they were doing too was saying, well, if they have that, you won't get the senior center. Well, it's not the same
No,
at all.
Apples and oranges.
Yeah. So
Yeah, wasn't there some sort of rumor going around that there was some funds that were set aside for the senior center, and you're going to lose them if we did the police station?
Well, they're saying that, but no, we're not, because we have a $4 million grant.
And it's specified.
It's for a senior. Well, they're calling it a multi-generational center, but
Right.
for a senior center, and so they can't use it for the police station.
Yeah.
Or for anything else. That's what it's for. So lots of times you get people's opinions on things, but the facts aren't always correct.
So they espouse their opinion as facts.
And when they say it, then some people believe
Believe
it.
it, yeah.
And it's kind of
Yeah.
too bad. So when they
Okay.
asked me if I would help them, put a sign in front of my house, I said yeah.
Yes. Okay.
I said yes
All right.
because it's important.
Congressional district. What do you? Any thoughts on where that's going between Gabe
It looks
Amo
like,
and Jerry,
yeah, it looks
Jerry
like,
Leonard?
yeah, it looks like Ammo's being,
The
he's a-
fix is in.
Exalted.
yeah,
Exalted,
well,
that's right. Risen to the
We,
top.
we,
Yeah.
we said it early in
Yeah.
the.
Well, yeah.
well, I knew in the primary, he was the most qualified of all the all the Democrats for sure. That was my
No,
opinion.
he had a nice pedigree.
Well, but he's been in Washington,
Yeah.
so he knows things. But I'm liking his opponent.
You like
know,
Gary Leonard?
I'm liking, yeah. I wish he'd say Jerry though.
No,
And
Gary.
I know he
It's
says
Gary.
Gary.
It's
He
Gary.
says
because
Gary.
his mother named him
Named him.
after what was the name? The first name I've forgotten now. The guy, his first name was somebody else's last name.
Oh, okay.
Something
Her
Gary.
mother's maiden
I,
name?
yeah, yeah.
Gary.
No.
No,
No,
Gary.
and the naming of babies, it ain't the baby's fault.
No.
Yeah, and the naming of babies gets political within the family unit.
Oh, sure. It
And
does,
somebody's
yeah.
got to be honored, and
yeah.
they'll get this one, and
Yeah, and then we'll get
okay,
yeah.
and for some reason he said, yeah, I know. He said they explained it to me. My mother thought the world of so and so, who was a
Gary.
politician,
Yeah.
signer of the Declaration of Independence. His last name was Gary, and so she called
Really?
me Gary.
Really, that's where that came from. Well, I like his pedigree. I like
Yeah.
his background, and I like that he's.
Did you ever meet him?
I talked with him, but
Yeah.
not. On,
I
yeah.
spoke with him at
Yeah.
length, and
Did you? Yeah.
gosh, yeah.
I like that he's-
I wanted to, he impressed me so much. I wanted to interview him.
Yeah.
And put him, but I said you can't do that
can't
because
do
now
that,
the other
yeah.
side's going to cry
Yeah.
equal time, and
Yeah.
so you want to help somebody, but then you can't because of the federal
Right.
fairness doctrine.
Right, exactly. But I like that, he's like against the far right and the far left, and
Right.
And I
That's
think-
what I like.
and that's what we need.
Yeah, we need somebody who can sit in the middle and say, I like some of your ideas. Look
Yeah.
to the other side. I
Yeah.
like some of your ideas. Let's put them together
Yeah.
and make something
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Gabe is not that person.
Gabe is
No.
not that
No, he's
person. He's
not that.
totalitarian
No, he's
Democrat.
not.
That's it. And
Yeah.
and unfortunately, I got to tell you, it doesn't look good for the Democrats in this next election.
Yeah, but no. So that Dave and I, I like his background. I like that he's moderate. He's in the middle. 'Cause I would call him an
And
independent.
remember, more
call
than
him an
half the
independent.
voters in Rhode Island are moderates.
Right,
They're neither one side or the other.
right.
Yet we keep getting the extremes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because they get the, I think, they have all the money. They have, they're
Well, they can
supported-
excite the voters
that-
into action
Yes, and
because they're extreme.
they're extreme, yeah.
Don't
But-
you feel bad for Gary Leonard, who had to go through school explaining to every teacher that you're mispronouncing my name?
Well,
He mentioned that when he was talking to us.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
yeah,
sure.
I bet it
Well,
happened every
because
year.
when you see GE, I mean, we
It's
say
automatic.
Jerry because
we
we
do.
think it's a nickname for Gerald.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
it's a
it's
soft G,
Gary.
so-
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's- that's not a nickname. That's his actual
That's
name,
his
Gary.
Yeah. Anyways, but I like him.
All right. So Veterans Day is coming up this weekend,
Yes, it
and
is.
what's going on at the senior center?
Well,
for
this year we're
Veterans
going to
Day?
have our annual veterans. It's dinner, but it's lunch. But it's not 12 o'clock lunch. It's like 2:30. So
All
I
right.
I
Yeah.
don't know what to call it. So we're calling it a Veterans Appreciation Afternoon.
Event, yes.
Après midi, right?
Well, that's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah.
In Woonsocket, I can say that. So, because, a lot of the veterans are getting older now. They don't like to drive at night.
Sure.
And we
and
want
night
to-
is now 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, well, there lies the rub. So it's going to be at 2:30. Doors will open at 2.
On what day?
Thursday,
Thursday,
because
okay.
usually we have it on the Marines Corps' birthday on the 10th,
Okay.
but we're closed because of the holiday on
Ah, I
Saturday.
see.
And United Healthcare is funding this for us, sponsoring it so that the veterans are free of charge.
Yeah.
A nice pot roast dinner. Beacon Charter School is coming over. Their culinary department, they're going to be serving lunch, but they're also bringing a salad. And I know the veterans don't like salads, but they're getting a salad plus the Italian wedding soup, plus the
Eat it
pot
anyway.
roast, plus the brownie with the ice cream on it. But this year, David, you've been to
Oh,
our
gosh,
event. It's something it's one of the best things we do. But this year, we're having a USO show first. The Fancy
The
Follies.
entertainment first.
Yep.
That's nice.
Well, you know why? Because you can't feed the dancers and then ask them to dance. But no, so
Well,
entertainment.
that's true. You got a point there.
But so the show is first, and I think they'll like it. And then Father Phil will do the benediction, the pledge. We have.
You got Father Phil coming?
Oh yes. he
Oh,
comes
that's
up.
nice.
He
Because
and the-
he's retired now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he's always.
You
with
can't
us.
always get him.
He comes with about 3 or 4 tables of the Vietnam Veterans Local
Sure.
Chapter,
Uh-huh.
818. We'll have some there from Post 85, the AMVETs, and then what was left over, then people can get the tickets. And we'll do, just that's what I wanted to say. Norm Champagne, World War II veteran, is going to be doing the pledge to the flag
Nice.
leaders and that. And we will be awarding 2 Quilts of Valor, which I
Oh,
can't
those
tell
are
you who
beautiful.
they are.
Oh no.
Those are beautiful.
That's,
Right.
yeah, and then the dinner.
Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
kids from Beacon Charter must be thrilled with that. They get to cook.
Yes, they love
for,
coming. They
for the,
absolutely-
for
they-
the crowd.
They've been coming every year
Yeah.
with their chef, and Will is his name, and they're so good.
And they
They're
stay for the whole event
they stay
to
for
see
the
people
whole
leave.
oh, they
Make sure
love
that
it.
they don't die because because of the cooking.
Yeah, they really, and of course we feed them too.
Oh yeah, they get to eat.
They get to eat too. Everybody gets to
Sure.
eat, and they're so excited. It's watching them is fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Watching, I mean, they really get into everything. They really have a good time, and the veterans love it. They love it.
I got to ask you something. I was away when you had that event with the comedy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I was
Char-
away. I just
Charlie-
couldn't come.
Charlie
Yeah.
Hall,
So
yeah.
tell us how that worked.
That went really well. We had a house full of people. We must
Nice.
have had I want to say 120 people. It
Well,
was
that's
a
big for the
fundraiser.
senior center.
Yeah, well, that's really big. Yeah, and it was well received.
Right.
Everybody enjoyed.
Good.
They had
And laughed.
they laughed. They were laughing a lot.
Oh,
they
good,
were
good,
laughing
good.
a lot. They were.
Well, they
were.
can relate to the jokes.
Yeah, no, they could. And he was really funny. And then we served dynamite. Steve uses my mother's recipe, by the way.
Yes.
And,
Is that
they
the
were
one with the
very-
peanut butter?
Huh? No, she doesn't know.
No celery?
No celery. No.
No carrots?
No
Oh,
carrots.
keep it a secret.
No, it's a secret. It's a secret.
It sounds like a recipe I'll like.
It's really
I'm
good.
sorry we were away
Yeah, no, it was well received. It was really good.
because I'd have gone. Seriously.
Yeah, no, it was good. Yeah, it was really good. And then also we had the kids for Halloween on last
Right,
Tuesday.
right.
They
That was
came. Oh,
Fun
that
flight.
went
I
really
saw
well.
them leaving.
Did you see them?
Yeah, we just
All
happened to
in
be driving
costume.
by
Yeah.
around
Yeah.
noonish, a little afternoon, and we saw them all being led out onto the sidewalk
Yeah.
and walking back.
They are so well behaved.
Yeah.
They are. One little. They're just adorable. Well,
Mm-hmm.
first we had Jane Deming. She did a thing on animals from awesome to icky, and the kids were sitting. They were just in awe of. And she had one of those bearded dragon things that we
Oh,
all
an
got to
iguana
pack.
kind of
Yeah.
thing. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. No, the bearded dragon. Is that an iguana? No.
Or it's a
I think
lizard of
they're-
some sort.
well, it's a lizard, and the kids were like all petting them. I did too, but they had such fun. They trick or treated. One little boy, they're so excited that they're going to come back for Christmas, and one little boy said, "This is like going to a 5-star restaurant." Well, first of all, that he knew 5-star restaurant, I thought
Yeah.
was interesting.
Yeah.
But because the food, they had stuffed shells and meatballs and
Oh,
yeah,
neat.
salad and cake.
Yeah.
They had a special cake made for them.
And you
Yeah,
get to go home with candy. Man, this is a great
and they
day.
had they had a bag of candy. Yeah. So it was. So we've been really busy.
I bet.
That's so.
see.
Well,
All
thanks
right.
thanks so much for everything you do. People need events. They need things to put on their calendar and look forward to.
Yeah.
And when you get to a certain age, you get more time on your hands, and you need more than just say, "Okay, we're going to get up and do the same thing we did yesterday."
You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
Yeah.
Absolutely right. And they lose a sense of purpose too.
That's
And
right.
a lot of these events, not only does the Beacon Charter School come, but we have a lot of senior volunteers as well.
Yeah.
And that, they get that sense of purpose, again, and
Mm-hmm.
it's important. The work, Dave, the work we do is
It's
good.
important.
That's why I keep doing it.
All right. Time to take another break here on the Coffee and Program. Time for a look at the forecast, which is being brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving.
Gradual clearing and 67 degrees for a high today with a breeze from the south up to 23 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear, overnight low of 35 and a west wind. Wednesday's weather, sunshine and 47 and a breeze from the northwest. Thursday, mostly cloudy skies, 60% chance of precipitation and a high of 44. Friday, mostly cloudy and 52. Veterans Day Saturday, mostly sunny and 49. Sunday, sunny and 45. Next Monday, sunny and 46.
Currently outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street, cloudy skies and 54 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org.
Hi, I'm Kathleen LaValle at The Honey Shop. Check out our Facebook page at The Honey Shop RI, and there you'll see a whole list of our new classes and lots of fun things to do. You could join us for making limoncello, pizzas, pasta making, cheese making, so many fun things to do and learn.
Thanks, Kathy. Folks, if you love food, you'll love the Honey Shop, right behind the Dunkin' Donuts at Park Square in Woonsocket.
Dr. Jeffrey Dodge believes that good communication is important because it makes patients feel relaxed, reassured, so the visit can be a positive experience. It's important to listen to what patients have to say and to explain clearly what procedures or treatment is best. Dr. Dodge is a family dentist and welcomes children, adults, and senior citizens. And remember, it's important to take good care of your teeth at any age. Dr. Jeffrey Dodge, 1438 Park Avenue, Woonsocket. At Park Square, 762-3044.
When you're thinking about a place to go out to eat with your family or the whole gang, or maybe something quieter for just the two of you, head over to ON Radio's website, woonsocketradio.com, and click on the restaurant guide. This gives you a listing of the best restaurants in the area. You can take a look at menus and possibly even make reservations. This is a great resource to see a bunch of restaurants all in one place. Remember, it's woonsocketradio.com and click on Restaurant Guide. And if you own a restaurant that's not already listed, call WOON Radio at 401-762-1240 for information on how your restaurant can be on the Restaurant Guide. Call Joe at 401-762-1240. Coffee and on ON. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Dave Richards as well. Ed Carew should join us next Tuesday here on the
In
Coffee
all
and
probability.
Coffee and Program. So we got a press release from the Attorney General, Peter Nerona, and they have convicted a man from Woonsocket. He's going to serve 25 years in state prison for second-degree murder.
Well, all of this happened outside of Woonsocket. It
Yeah,
happened
happened
that
down-
his legal address was Woonsocket.
Yes.
But he was not a native Woonsocketer, I believe, if I
No.
got the story right.
Okay. Adorius Garcia, 21. 25 years of the ACI, followed by a consecutive life sentence. During the trial, the state proved that at around 9:45 on April 11th, 2021, the defendant shot and killed Isaiah Bullis following a drug transaction on Atlantic Avenue in Providence. Yep.
Never
Bad-
carry a
bad
gun.
news.
Never carry a gun.
Well,
Because bad things. It was an argument in the car over a drug deal.
Yeah.
yeah,
And he pulled the gun to prove his
Yeah.
point.
Yeah.
And
Makes
then
you
they
wonder-
struggled over it.
yeah.
Because
Makes-
the driver of the car, because he gotten in the car for the drug deal, driver of the car tried to grab the gun away. And you've seen this on
Yeah.
TV
Movies,
many
yeah,
times.
yeah.
This is something that's fairly common occurrence. You pull a gun on somebody in a close confined area. They try to grab the gun. Next thing you know, it goes off while you're holding on to it,
Yeah.
and somebody gets a bullet.
Yeah.
The defendant sought to acquire drugs from the victim. The defendant enters the victim's vehicle. The defendant brandished a gun. Then they both struggled for possession. And during the struggle, the defendant fired one shot into the back of the victim before taking off. Yeah, drug deals never really go as smooth as they should.
I mean, yeah. Well, first of all, a drug deal.
I know,
you
it's right there in the name.
I think that's against the law.
All right. So, what do you think about this?
I don't like it.
Can the two are the two
You sound like somebody I know.
can the two be okay? So there's the government that keeps coming out and say we're backing Israel in this whole thing
Yeah.
with Hamas.
Yeah.
But then they say, but we want a ceasefire. How can you want?
And Israel says a ceasefire means defeat.
That's right. So how can you how here for the United States as a politician? How can you say you want both?
It's easy. You're a politician, and if you're a seasoned politician,
You talk both sides of you.
you're used to things not adding up.
Yeah.
But you have things to say. It's sometimes given to you by the party on a piece of paper, and you
say it.
dutifully say it.
Say what the party,
What
party
do you
line.
think, Linda?
Well, I mean, when you said that, all I could think of is we know they can speak out of both sides of their mouth, but and I think they're getting pressure.
Israel?
No,
Oh, politicians.
United States, I think, is getting pressure like from the UN and,
Yeah.
and all of that, to
And from many of their citizens.
for their citizens. Well, and from the protests from their citizens, the
Right.
civilians, right? Not all Palestinians are Hamas.
I know, but I just
And-
don't know how you can
But
say,
yet you can say,
I'm
but
for
yet they
Israel,
voted. But they voted
Voted
for
them in.
But they voted them in. They
But how you
did.
can say you're for Israel, but then Israel, I want you to stop
Yeah.
shooting.
Yeah. Well, but I don't. I think that what they're saying is they want the ceasefire just until the hostages get released.
That's what Israel said.
Yeah.
We'll stop
When
if
when they
release
release
them.
them. Yeah.
And now they're waiting.
Yeah.
Okay, the ball's in your
Yeah,
court,
right.
Hamas,
Yeah.
and they're not
Yeah.
doing anything.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep it
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
I
I
know,
know.
just a
I know.
thought.
It's yeah.
Well, look at it on the other side. Hamas is saying, okay, they're my bargaining chip.
I know.
Exactly.
They're
To
not gonna let 'em
moderate the
go.
offensive against me by a bigger power.
Right.
And so why should I hand you my weapon and say, okay, let's start fighting again?
Yeah. And they've been known to put themselves in the middle of where the civilians are.
Well,
So
but
that-
this has been
like
going on
as
for
a-
centuries.
well, this is
went
a
on for
holy war that's been going on for a zillion years,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Not a zillion, but lots. But I still, they were wrong. They're terrorists, the Hamas, but when you see, the civilians, the little kids who didn't do anything wrong,
I know,
it
and it's
kind
bad.
of breaks your heart, And
War is heck,
well, yeah, it is. It is,
Thank
All
you,
right.
Joe.
You can quote me on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Without fear of reprisal from the government agency.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people ride the T, but you can no longer recharge.
Lots of people are forced to ride the T, Joe.
But you can no longer recharge your Charlie card.
Yeah, what's this?
I don't
They're
understand
eliminating
that.
the Charlie cards. What are they
Are
saying?
we going
No,
back
we
to
don't
the
like it.
tokens? I always liked the tokens.
Yeah.
I thought they were easier to understand. The ability to recharge Charlie cards on the MBTA's website will end soon. The T Center will launch a new website. Oh, that's it. We're changing websites.
Yes.
So we can't. So we'll start it over there. And the My Charlie option will be removed as of November 15th from the old website. Details are available online at mbta.com/fares/mycharlie-site-retirement. That's way too long of a URL to remember. You'll never get it. So all right. So you can charge it.
So
you
walk
just
into
can't
your T station and use your QR code. They probably got them up there.
Yeah. Just scan away.
I
What
haven't
does
been inside a T station in a while.
What does QR stand for? I just found this out. Do you know what QR stands for?
No, I
Dave,
don't.
you know what? You might know, Dave. What is-
No, I never heard it.
No?
I never
I just
heard it.
found quick
It
response.
sounds like something I should know, but I never heard it.
Quick response.
Oh, yeah?
It's a
Oh,
quick
okay.
response code, which kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh,
I just found that out
wow.
like
that-
end of last week. I said,
that-
I never knew that.
it makes sense.
It does make sense. How about that?
Well, you taught me something, Joe. You taught me something. I never cared enough to look into
No,
it, but
no.
It was
okay.
just, this was called a QR code, and you went,
I
okay.
said, okay, that's what it's called. Yeah.
So, big drug bust. Historic drug bust happened in Boston. No, it
Well,
didn't
they
happen
announced
in
it
Boston.
in Boston. It happened in Lynn,
Lynn, Massachusetts. Federal authorities said
which
it
is
amounted
close enough to Boston for us,
to
right?
millions of doses of narcotics with a street value of over $8 million.
That's,
Confiscated 200 pounds of fentanyl, methamphetamines.
200 pounds of pills.
Yeah,
that
That's
looked
a
like
lot to-
hot candy.
some of them did.
Some of
Yeah.
them did. They showed it. They were pink.
So fentanyl, methamphetamines, other drugs, several guns, and cash from a house in Lynn. 3 men have been charged and will be in federal court next week. That's a lot of fentanyl.
That's lobbing a head off right there.
Right. That's awesome.
A lot of
awesome.
street pushers are going to be sitting around saying, "What
we
kind of
don't-
my stuff?
yeah.
I mean,
I don't have my
nobody's
product."
got it, right?"
I can't sell it if I don't have it.
Yeah. What? I mean, I'm so glad they did that. But what bothered me was to see that with all those little heart-shaped.
Yeah, they look like hearts, like
They look
Valentine's
like, you know,
Day
the little
candy.
Valentine candy with the message on them.
Yeah, they
That's
look
what
just
they
like
look
'em.
like. How bad is that?
Well, they're doing that on purpose.
But yeah, kids.
For kids
Is
and
it-
to try to, I'm sure to
To
try
disguise
to
it.
disguise it from the
Disguise-
cops as well.
right, yeah.
Oh, that's just candy. We'll leave
Yeah.
it alone.
Yeah. But think about that. That's in a house, and a little kid sees it. It's candy. You know.
Well, that's right.
that was yeah.
And the same thing with the. Remember kids a couple of years ago were eating the Tide Pods?
Yes. Well, I mean that was like a little far. Yeah. That.
Well, they're
I guess
orange and
it's
blue, and it's
yeah,
bright.
they're
Oh,
different.
okay.
Yeah.
They-
But this really.
I know, it
When
was-
I
it
saw
was
that
similar.
picture, I said it really looks like those little sweethearts with the name writing on them for Valentine's Day.
Teachers in Hingham, Massachusetts want more security. Last week, a substitute teacher was arrested on charges unrelated to the school. However, teachers said they were disturbed the superintendent delayed sharing the news about the incident. Suggestions from the Hingham Education Association include better vetting of substitute teachers. There's such a shortage
Well, there is such a
of
shortage.
substitute
yeah.
teachers. We're taking anybody?
That's scary.
And
but-
now they,
but
and I think this teacher, the substitute, was arrested on
on
school
property.
grounds. Well, that's where we
Oh.
know where he is. They were
Oh,
going for
oh.
something different from school.
Okay. He wasn't committing the crime on
No,
school. Oh,
this is
okay.
something else. But this is where we know where he is.
Oh, okay. So we'll go.
I think it's a
arrest him.
he. So
Yeah,
go,
we'll
so go
arrest
get him
Yeah.
because it's easy. It's easier for us
Yeah.
to go find if we know where he is. Just sitting around doing teaching.
Teaching our children.
And that the man that allegedly stabbed his grandparents in Providence,
Gosh.
they are 70 and 69 respectively. They're still hospitalized, by the way, but they are expected to recover. He is undergoing a medical evaluation. It doesn't say mental evaluation,
No, they
but a
shouldn't,
but a
yeah.
medical evaluation. Would that comprise of both?
I would hope that they would do a medical and mental
Yeah.
evaluation.
28-year-old Colin Raso arraigned on 2 charges of felony assault, 2 counts of assault on a person 60 years of age or older. It doesn't say attempted murder though in the counts. I don't know if that was part of
Well,
it.
Yeah.
He just and no reason why he did this. 28-year-old Leslie stabbed his grandparents at their home, Lynch Street in Providence, Sunday afternoon. Probably because the Patriots lost.
Right, but there's no reason that somebody should
Well,
stab
no.
their grandparents that I can think of that would be okay.
And his bail was set at $50,000 surety bail. Doesn't say if that was posted or not. Well, not if he's going to go to the medical evaluation.
When I heard that, Joe, and I said,
Mm-hmm.
why did they let him? Why did they release him on bail?
Well, I don't know if he's actually been released. This is what his
Well-
bail is. You know, and
I thought
you get some decent lawyers, and they say, well, he's never been in trouble.
I
with the
know,
law,
but
so
that's
let's let him out.
yeah, sure, to stab somebody else again.
Well, maybe that's the chance you got to take. It's the same thing that happened here in Woonsocket with the gentleman that with the hit and run accident on
Yes.
Diamond Hill Road. He had 10,000 surety bail because his lawyer said he's never been in trouble
He's
with
been
the
in-
law.
no, and
even
well,
though
I heard
he
they're
did this.
definitely using that as a defense for him. He's never been in trouble. He wasn't drunk.
He wasn't drunk. He wasn't
on
he
drugs.
wasn't distracted.
He wasn't. Yeah.
It's just a tragic accident, and he's
Yeah.
a pillar of the community, I guess, in North Attleboro. I don't know that,
Yeah.
but that's what they're going to go with.
But stabbing is not.
That's
the
different.
same thing.
That's a
Yeah.
little different. You're
That's
right.
a-
That's a very personal thing.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
The guy from North Attleboro, if he is convicted, should get a little something just for leaving the scene of the accident.
Well, yeah.
You learn that when you learn to drive. Accident, you don't go until the cops show
I know,
up.
but
Right.
people can
I know
have
people panic.
Yeah, people can have some sort of a panic attack. I mean, the young lady who took out the telephone pole here on the corner at outside the radio station, she took off. I mean, she didn't even slow down. She hit the thing and floored it. Because I was here, we're sitting where you are, Joe, and
Yeah.
the window was open. I actually
it.
heard it happen, and you didn't hear the car until you heard it hit the pole, and then she floored it. It was a little family minivan. Left half of the front end here on the street, around the pole, but she just slammed on the gas pedal and rabbited. You heard that because the crash had dislodged the exhaust and it was very loud and took off. And they lived over here on Ward Street, but she was well along in a pregnancy. And I'm sure terribly surprised by the whole thing and didn't even absorb what had really happened. And she just ran for home because she was only a block and a half away from home. So I can understand mentally. You don't know exactly what happened. By the time you process it, you're already far away. I don't know. It's possible.
How old was she?
Well, she was a young mother, so I don't know. I'm thinking 20s.
Okay, this guy in North Attleboro is 30.
I never met her.
Yeah.
The one who
just-
did the telephone pole here, and I hope she was okay. I mean, she lost the family car. I mean, half of it was over here.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's how they found out what kind of car it was because there was so much of it there. All they had to do was look inside for identification marks. Then they ran it through the computer. And they said, "Oh, well, somebody's got a car just like that over on Ward Street." Went over there, and half the car was in the driveway.
I know hindsight's 20/20, but if you were driving along on like a Diamond Hill Road and you just feel a thump, you really should stop. I don't see a tree or something that I've hit, so.
Yeah.
But what have I gone over? I should really check that out before just taking off.
Yeah.
But oh well, hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
All right. More coffee ads coming up. Please stick around.
You've heard it before. The world is getting smaller. Places you had to travel to years ago now seem right next door. It's no surprise, then, that all the communities of the Blackstone Valley have so much in common these days that we share common interests. Keeping up with this trend, the Blackstone Valley's two daily newspapers, The Call and The Times, have joined forces to cover the entire valley in one convenient newspaper. The Blackstone Valley's Call and Times, a paper for the entire valley. At your local store, honor box, or home delivery, 767-8522.
Hi, this is Wendy Pyrus from Community Care Alliance. This November 8th, mark your calendars for a special event that embodies the true spirit of the holiday season. Join us right here on ON Radio from 3:30 to 7 p.m. for the Holiday for Kids Radiothon. You can help provide local children and teens with the magic of the holiday season. Please help us be part of the magic, the warmth, and the excitement. Tune in on November 8th, 3:30 to 7.
Hey, it's ON Radio's Cruz and Bruce Palmer inviting you to join me for the Saturday Block Party. It's every Saturday from 4 until 7 p.m. when we fill the airwaves with the songs you want to hear. It's a party in every sense of the word, so join me live on 99.5 and 1240 a.m. or bring the show with you wherever you go at onworldwide.com.
Thanks, Bruce. And it's Coffee and on ON Radio. Joe Callahan, along with Linda Tebow and Dave Richards. So this is kind of amusing, although not amusing for the person that it took place. Video
Can,
of a...
can we stop there for a second?
Oh, sure.
Because
You
I
wanted
want
to
to
bring
back
this
up a little bit. Yeah, just when you went to the commercial, the last thing we talked about beforehand was not a happy thing.
Right.
And I'm sorry, before you get into a happy thing again, I just wanted to stop. Because we knew, but we didn't say it on the air because it wasn't officially announced. We knew the name of the 71-year-old man who was killed by that driver
The hit and run
in the
driver,
hit and
yep.
run on Diamond Hill Road last week. But again, as a matter of honor, we try to respect, family and the procedure. You're supposed to announce it when it's announced by the government. But on Coffee Inn, you could talk about it. It still hasn't been released by the government. But on Coffee Inn, we can discuss it. Because last night it was on the air on the station, but people might not have caught on to it. At the end of the prayer, starting last night's Woonsocket City Council meeting, which you might want to talk about too if you have 2 or 3 minutes, the city clerk did the prayer and added a few words about their friend and colleague, Richard Forty. And that was about it.
That's it. Yeah.
But now the name's been said in public, so I feel much better about mentioning. Richard was and I was just telling Linda, this is a guy who worked for City Hall for many, many years. Cheerful, do anything you asked him to do, diligent, always showed up for work, prepared. He ran the elevator to go to the 4th floor to the mayor's office for many, many years when there was an operator there. Actually, but ADA closed that elevator down. Now here's a guy who's got a job, was hired for a job, and the job's not there anymore. So I mean, for years he did anything he was asked. We saw him many, many times out on the streets of Woonsocket, picking up trash and little bits of paper on the side, like that. What a guy was, such a pleasant man, and you just wanted to be a friend of Richard Forty, because he was just a nice, nice guy. So I just wanted to add that in. And I would have mentioned it before the break went on, but I didn't see the break coming up that fast. So I just wanted to say that.
Okay, thanks, Dave. Now, what I
Now,
wanted
the
to-
happy thing you wanted to talk
Well,
about.
it gets amusing. It's not going to sound amusing at the beginning. But there was a fight at a college football game over the weekend in the stands.
That's not news.
It's not news. I didn't say it was news.
Okay.
It was between the football games between Texas Southern and Jackson State. And what makes it amusing is because the man that was throwing the punches was part of the marching band for Texas Southern. He plays the tuba. And so, but now the band is in the stands because they don't come out onto the field until like
Right,
halftime.
yeah.
So they're in the stands, and that's where they play the music. So for whatever reason, they're in the stands when a man approached the tuba player during the weekend game, and words were exchanged, and that's when the musician, the tuba player, knocked out the other guy, and then picked up his tuba and continued to play. That's the funny part.
As a former tuba player?
You got to keep performing. The show goes.
Yeah.
Well, he's out, so I can continue playing.
Mission accomplished. Next
That's
song.
right. So in a statement, Texas Southern University says, we're investigating the confrontation.
Of course.
Who had the cell phone that caught that?
Everybody. Everybody except the people at the band. Their hands are
Well,
kinda
yeah, busy.
with
They're
their
busy.
with their instruments. But I just think it's funny that all right, I knocked him out. I can continue to play.
Show
He
must
said
go
my
on.
mother wore combat boots.
I'm sure it's more than that. All right. As we know, different colleges have or colleges have their own security force.
Right.
Usually it's called usually it's police officers or something like that. But at the University of Utah, they're doing something different. They're called peace officers, okay? And they're implementing a new device used to restrain people not following police commands, like move it along kind of thing. So it's called BOLA wraps, BOLAWRAPS. BOLA wraps. And the device fires straps that wrap around the subject's body, and now you can't move.
Right.
Okay? And the straps can be fired from up to 25 feet away, and they're designed to restrain people without harming them. University of Utah Department of Public Safety says their goal is to always help and not to hurt. and they decided to replace nightsticks with the bolo wraps after they viewed someone being beat up by cops in Memphis. I just wonder who makes these and how effective are they?
Well, I remember seeing them on like Zorro.
Well,
back
yeah,
in the
yeah,
1950s.
well,
right,
sure,
yeah.
but that's
they
TV.
called them Bolera.
Yeah.
They were.
But that was the movies and television.
Yeah,
But
right.
now they really work? And how do you get out of these things? Scissors?
Well, whatever.
Yeah.
I would like to see them in use.
Not me.
No?
Yeah, to me it's still violence, but it's
But you're not shooting somebody. You're
yeah,
not killing
right.
somebody
And
with this.
yeah, but you can miss and
Yes,
get the wrong person.
You could.
And now you've disabled someone who was defenseless and innocent. And I'm sorry, it's just not going to be enough, so the lawsuits will come along. And my goodness me, and oh, wait a minute, I'm an asthmatic, and I know I was acting out on campus, but you made it so I couldn't reach my EpiPen or my inhaler or something like that, and I suffered distress. It's it's like this.
All right. Well, this is what they're using instead of their batons.
Well,
No more whacking people over the head.
You know, the times they used the baton were few and far between. Seems to me these newfangled gadgets are going to get used a lot more because they'll be empowered to use them more because, they're not batons.
Right, and they're not lethal. And it's a new toy.
It's a new toy.
Yeah.
Which can misfire, though.
It could.
Well,
And,
the
you know-
original Gaucho Bolero was, it could have been lethal if it hit you in the head.
Well, that's,
Yeah.
because
If
that
it
was
went
like-
around your
yeah,
neck,
Yeah. or
if
around
if you ducked and it hit your head instead of your torso, that could have been. I haven't seen this demonstrated, so I can't say.
Yeah.
All right.
Interesting.
All right. A plan to rid Catalina Island in California of thousands of non-native mule deer is on hold while the residents protest. They want to have a big hunt and go kill them all. The Catalina Island Conservancy is charged with restoring the island to its natural state and says the mule deer is destroying native plants. And I guess there's no natural predator for the mule deer, all right? The lead conservation biologist on the project has been receiving threatening phone calls and emails. She says the mule deer have allowed invasive grasses to grow, and that increases the risk of wildfire. The community of about 3,400 permanent residents has gathered more than 12,000 signatures on a petition to leave the mule deer be. The sharpshooters were supposed to be in the air on October 1st in helicopters.
that's-
There's no word yet on what will become of the plan.
Yeah.
I don't know what the answer for this is.
How
but
did the mule deer
get there?
Yeah.
Well, someone brought them.
Somebody brought them. Yeah.
Or they
Well, I
swam.
thought they were going to open up hunting season. Or
That's what it looks like, but no, it looks like
helicopters and sharpshooters is not the same
that's
thing.
not hunting.
That's not. No, that's not hunting.
So yeah, I'm not sure what they're going to do on that front.
Interesting.
12,000 signatures is a lot. Dave's got his hand in the air. Dave's got something.
Well, it may sound self-serving, but in one of my trade papers today, I just saw something that I thought might be interesting for people to hear in the waning moments of our program. Time spent listening to AM and FM radio in cars has hit an 8-year high.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought you'd be impressed by that. And, of course, all that nonsense that you heard about removing AM radios from the cars because nobody listens to it anymore.
Right.
There's still almost 5,000 AM radio stations out there. Somebody's listening to them or they'd all be off the air. Believe me.
I wonder, Joe, what's causing the spike in listenership now?
The commutes are back. Back to the office orders. It seems to be behind a lot of it in larger areas.
Yeah, but it says 9-year high. If you go back 9 years, that's
8-year high.
Well, okay, that's still before the pandemic.
Yeah. Well, that and the fact, of course, that radio stations who had made mistakes before have seen what the mistakes are. They've had to get smart. And I say this of my own colleagues in my profession because, we all know in every profession you've got some people that you think are smart and some people that you think are pretty dumb. and like that. I try to be in the smart area when I can, but yeah. So radio, they got a scare when the industry got a scare when Ford decided they didn't
Yeah,
want to
we're
put
moving
AM
on.
radios in cars anymore. They said, "Hey,
Huh? What?
this is ridiculous, and we know we're great. We've got to show it to people now.
Yeah.
We can't just sit back and say, hey, we're the radio stations."
Yeah.
So you get a little bit more competitiveness and a little bit more thoughtfulness when they're doing things and promotions and all the rest of that stuff. Well, how does this work out? It's basically 45% of all radio stations are AM radio stations.
Okay.
Commercial stations
Yeah.
we're talking about, right? 45% of all radio stations are AM radio stations. That's a lot
That's
of
a lot.
radio.
That's a lot.
Right. And the FM stations, of course, we added an FM channel thanks to the FCC and Mr. Ajit Pai. It is only about 55% of all radio stations. And that's a majority now. I'm used to be. There's all radio. Yeah, I remember when I got into the business, there was like 200 FM radio stations out there. Now there's over 6,000.
Right.
So that's something. Of course, that seemed like an awful lot. Do you know commercial AM and commercial UHF and VHF TV stations? There's only 380 of them.
I can understand that.
Yeah. Well, they have much bigger signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good information.
My source
Dave.
is the FCC.
All right, well, they must be true. It's the government.
They're the ones that gave out the licenses.
Yes, indeed.
Someone's counting them. All right, that does it for the show for today. We thank you very much for listening in. Remember, it's election day, so if you haven't voted for your congressional district number 1, if you live in that area, go vote today.
Go
All
vote.
right.
Fabulous Denise and I will take a walk later today.
Very good. Dave, thanks for coming in today.
Hey, it was great. Thanks for having us. Lovely being with Linda again. Appreciate that. And this chair next week, it'll be Ed Carew.
Very good. Linda, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure as always.
All right, have a good time today with your nurse practitioner, your nurse student.
My student nurse,
Student
yes.
nurse. All right. I'm Joe Callahan. Have a great day. Stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember at 9:30 this morning on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news. Voters in Rhode Island's 1st Congressional District will elect a new member to the House today. Democrat Gabe Amo and Republican Gary Leonard are running for the open seat. Dave Cicilline resigned earlier this year to head